All right, man. Here with my man Robert Garcia. Got a hell of a fight. Raymond Muratalla defending his title against Andy Cruz, man. And what do you think of before Eddie referenced it, man? The two trainers, Bozy Ennis and you.
Look, it's true,
Yeah,
man. Bozy has great team, great fighters. His own son is doing great things in boxing. I've been doing it a little bit longer, and then maybe I'm a little more accomplished. But he's up there, with so much talent, and he's done a great job. So definitely have to respect what he does in his gym.
Now, Mexican American fighters known for their grit, but Philly fighters are
Same thing, man.
yeah, right.
They're great fighters. They're warriors. They go out there to fight too. So no, we expect that too. We expect that. At the end, Cruz is not from Philly. Yeah, he's training there, but I could have somebody from a different country training my gym. That doesn't mean I'm gonna make him a warrior if he doesn't have it in him. Andy is a great fighter. He's a very talented fighter, but we'll see if he brings that Philly heart into the ring. Because it's a different story fighting 3-round Olympic fighter to a 12-round championship fight.
Have you seen him having Andy in the pocket a lot, as opposed to how he was with his amateur style? Has he been working in range a lot in the pocket?
I'm pretty sure they have. I don't see it. I don't look at anything. When the bell rings, it's gonna be him and Raymond. I don't go out there. I'm not trying to study or look what they're doing. I don't follow that. Honestly, I've never done it, and I don't do it. That's their job. I don't want to use anything as, I seen this, I seen that. Now, when the bell rings, they're both gonna be fighting, and Raymond's gonna have instructions, and he's gonna go out there and do his job.
Why is that? A lot of trainers will watch a lot of tape. I didn't know that about you, that you don't do a lot of
trainers
that.
Try to find sparring matches, try to find the way fighters do mitts and stuff like that. It's a different story, man. And when the bell rings, it's totally different.
Guys like Emmanuel, great trainer like yourself, Emmanuel Stewart used to always talk about how important the amateur experience is, but Larry Merchant would be like, this is the pros now. And do you feel like
true. Look, it does help to be very experienced in the amateurs. Obviously, I don't want to take any credit away from his, being an Olympic gold medalist, and that's an accomplishment that very few can say that they've been. And the challenge of him with only 6 fights to challenge for a world title, it's also very respectful. We got to respect it. But look, it is a different sport. It is a totally different sport. The Olympics to the pros, it's totally different. You go to the late rounds, you get hit a little bit harder. You get you're getting hit with guys that have the power, the strength from not only 3 rounds but 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds. It's a big difference.
Is that where the difference could come, is in the second half of the fight? You're like the Tevin Farmer fight, you had to come from behind and close strong.
Correct.
Do you think that's where the fight is won for Ray, maybe in the second half?
I think that's where it is. I really believe we're gonna stop Andy, but in the late rounds.
Now, one thing I noticed about Ray and Andy, man, Andy was smiling, laughing at Eddie's jokes, laughing at Jesse Hart and Khalil Cole, but your guy didn't change his expression. He's dead serious the whole time. What does that tell us about Ray?
He's in great shape. He's motivated. He's going out there to prove the odds wrong. Because they have him as the underdog. So he's that's what's in his mind, and that's the only thing he's going to go out there and do.
Ray is not a typical Mexican fighter. He's very patient. He's a good boxer, puncher. Does he have to be careful not to be too patient in this fight? And how does that patience work for him and not against him?
Look, being patient is also good, smart. And Raymond knows how to be patient and how to take advantage of his moments. But yeah, we have to be a little more aggressive for this fight, and we train for it. He had great sparring. He had great sparring partners that did a great job. Rounds that we were doing that were unbelievable. So I think Saturday night, it's gonna be a great fight, because Andy is a great warrior, a great fighter. But at the end, I think Raymond takes it late rounds.
Yeah, we've seen that when the Cubans fight Mexicans. Correct. Is the Cuban could get off to a quick start with and then the Mexican can take a punch better.
It's always happened.
Is that
correct? So I think that's what we're gonna do. Take it, even in the early rounds. I don't look. I think Andy's talented, but I don't think he's that much more talented than Raymond. Raymond has talent. Raymond has speed. Raymond has power. Raymond has good counter punching also. So it's going to be a pretty even match the first few rounds. But I think little by little, I think Raymond starts taking up.
You said counter punching. Is that where he times him and hurts him in this fight? He's punching with Cruz.
It's gonna be great, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great challenge. Great challenge for me as a trainer, going against somebody that has a lot of experience also when it comes to coaching. So it's not only a great challenge for the fighters, but also us as trainers.